Hello. I just thought I might try and make a video. It's really hot and I feel like I'm gonna get burned. I feel like I'm like burning. So I might need to go put on some sunblock. Not that I really wear sunblock. Guys, look, I've also got my hair in a little bun. This doesn't happen very much, or hasn't happened very much in the last few years. So that's exciting. Yeah, I guess I just want to like film because I do want to sort of post more regularly to YouTube. Just for various reasons, but like, I mean, it's just, I guess like I am trying to cultivate a bit of an audience or just engagement with people. Like I am really seeking to actually find people who want to engage with me in this space, like, you know, so like actually connecting with people, actually talking to people about stuff I care about or think it's worth talking about. And so yeah, like it's like a, you know, I'm seeking some sort of like creation of social community of people that care about stuff I care about. And I don't think we should, I think we should challenge the idea that social media or like the use of social media is for like, you know, this exclusive club of influencers that arguably don't do very much. Or, you know, like it's a broad term, influencing or whatever, but like I feel like influencers tend to sort of land in a sort of materialistic sort of yeah, anyway, I'm not hating on influencers. You guys do you, but like I wouldn't categorize myself in quite the same way as sort of like a large group of people that go by that sort of frame. But I do wish to like put myself out online to connect with people, and I do wish to encourage the general populace to perhaps, you know, sort of deconstruct or reconstruct their thinking around the place that is the internet, and that it's not a lot like I just am a sort of big believer that this place is for everybody, and that, you know, like to be someone, an individual living on earth today is to have a digital identity as well at some level. And, you know, like you engage with that, the amount one engages with that has huge variance across sort of humanity. You know, like my dad still doesn't really, you know, interact with much of the sort of online digital sort of platforms and stuff, but you know, like you're still operating. Yeah, like most people use digital technology one way or another. Like they might not be sort of actively working in you know, like using places like social media. Like I am very interested to talk about this topic and sort of, yeah, just because like I do feel like the how we relate to the sort of influencer crowd, like, or like how we think about, I feel like it's sort of shifting. I feel like it's shifted a fair bit in the last couple of years. Like I feel like it's a bit more normative to sort of be in this space, and you know, I feel like early days, like, you know, maybe 7 years ago, I don't know, like it's just I find like the whole technology, social media, like I find it interesting. This is one thing I'm interested to talk about. I am interested in technology and AI and stuff. Like I'm not an expert or anyone who's like actually gone and done formal study or has like super heaps of skills in that, but I do think about it a lot. And also just like in terms of the future, like tech and stuff is obviously going to be a huge part of that. And for like everyone, and it's going to be pretty inescapable, and I'm just like super interested by that. Like I'm super fascinated by, you know, sort of transhumanism, or like us sort of essentially becoming cyborgs. Like, what does that mean? And then also I do feel like that bangs into sort of Christian stuff in a significant way at some level, or like, you know, like this idea of robotics and like, you know, AI becoming sentient arguably, or, you know, like being its own being and stuff. And, you know, there's a huge variance of opinion on that topic. I make my own moisturizer, because like I like look at just to take a wee side tangent, this would be my ad if I was an influencer. I would say go buy like raw shea butter. This one's refined. I did buy some raw stuff as well, or unrefined stuff recently, but I don't know. I don't know if it's off or not. It kind of looks a bit funny, but I'm still a bit of a newbie in this space, but I mean, the refined stuff is fine. I just wanted to be like, try out the unrefined stuff. Because like I just like buy, well, one, moisturizer can kind of be expensive, and then two, I'm just like looking at it like, what are all this shit in here? Like, I just don't get it, especially when like you can basically just use shea butter, and especially if you're like in a slightly warmer climate, like it goes on pretty easy just by itself. Like, and I'm just like, what is all this bullshit and like moisturizers and stuff? Anyway, I made like a bit of my own mix though. Like I mixed it up with some like other stuff. I've got like some argan oil. Argan oil is apparently like good for the skin, and that like it doesn't clog the pores and stuff. So just to like, because shea butter is like quite sort of a bit thicker. It's pretty thick, like or like almost like sort of hard. But it does sort of like you know, once it warms up, it becomes a bit more sort of like a lotion or whatever. But yeah, I mix mine with sort of vitamin E, jojoba oil, argan oil, almond oil. I chucked in some essence because I was like, let's make this smell nice. So I put in some like ylang lang, or however you say it. And so that's my moisturizer right now. I've been very happy with it. I'm just going to keep experimenting with it. It is like, it might be a bit on the sticky side. It's not sticky, but like, yeah, like it might be, that might just be like my consistency. Like, I don't know how I would like avoid that necessarily, but I don't know, just like put it on at night. Like, I'm just like not, I just, you know, like there's just no bullshit in this. So that's my preference. I'd rather it be maybe like that than have heaps of random shit in it. Yeah, so that's been my fun little thing I've done recently that I've been meaning to do for ages. But yeah, back to the technology thing, and then like sort of Christianity. Also, I got this hairbrush a wee while ago. I think it's called Vaios, and it's been really helping. Another pretend ad. No, but seriously, I would actually advocate for this hairbrush. Like, if your hair grows really slowly, this has helped my pitifully slow growing hair. Yeah, honestly, I could actually do a video on my hair, because I don't know, it does affect me. Like, also, I don't understand where all this fucking fluff comes from. Like, where's this coming from? I'm not brushing the carpet, bro. Like, that's not coming from my head. Like, I don't brush anything else. Where does it come from? I'm so confused, bro. Like, is it coming from the inside of the hairbrush? like all this fluff, like we've got a little bit of hair here, but we've got all this like carpet fluff. I'm like, the fuck? Yeah. This is me and my influencer bag. No, but seriously, this is a really good hairbrush. I actually noticed my hair grow quicker. Even the freak, my, like, I work at a cafe sometimes, and I was like, I also am a customer at the cafe sometimes as well. But also, I'm trying not to drink caffeine right now, because it makes me fucking, it's not good for me. But I love coffee. Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like this place is for everyone. Like, we don't have to, I feel like people, like, still feel like there's a lot of cultural and social judgment for people using this space. And I don't like that. I actually reject that. And like, and there's just so much negative, like, I think we just sort of gravitate to a negative opinion or a negative view about the internet, about being on the internet, about time spent on the internet. And I'm like, I think we're generalizing too negatively about this, like, especially considering how, like, pervasive, like, and like, that's not to negate the negative opinions. Like, I think I think a lot of the negative criticism or negative comments that are made about the internet are valid, fair, worth having conversation about. Like, it is a place that can soak up a lot of your time, but like, that doesn't have to be like a bad thing. Like, I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I listen, like, I just think we need to be careful about or just be a little bit more, like, I don't know, just like maybe spend some time thinking positively about the space if you're going to hold such gravity of negative opinions, like, or dominance about negative opinions. I just feel like we should also counter, like, how lucky we are. Like, we're lucky. Like, it's lucky. We're so lucky to have the internet, like, and just everything that it is. Like, yeah, like, social media can just be an absolute time suck and maybe not productive in any way, but like, social media can make me laugh. Like, I can have some good vibes and shit, like, I don't know, even just like the way we think about how much time we use on there. I just, and this is where I think I go into like a more, I mean, I'm, when I say technical conversation, just, I mean, that's kind of loosely, like, I'm not like a full-blown like AI roboticist programmer technical person, but like, I do listen to these people. Like, I am interested in this sector and the experts in it, and I do spend a lot of time listening to them on social media, on the internet. And I just think, like, like, I find it, and maybe this is just sort of addiction speaking, in that, like, I'm trying to argue for my excessive use of social media and the internet. But it's just like, to me, like, my thought about the whole thing diverges from a lot of the sort of dominant opinions that tend to be negative about it, or that tend to constrain it in a negative way, that don't really, it's like, well, this is sort of part of life now, and it's like you might be throwing shade or negative opinions out there about it, but it's like, are you really totally removing yourself? Like, I guess, like, what I'm wanting is, like, well, what's the vision then? Like, it's like, because social media technology is part of our lives. It's a massive part of everyone's life. And actually, I would point to a book I've got over there called Tech Agnostic, and its sort of subtitle is how technology became the world's most powerful religion, and why it desperately needs a reformation. And the author's name is Greg Epstein. I'm pretty sure he's like from Harvard or something. I've just sort of, I haven't got into it yet, like fully or anything. I'm just crawling. I'm actually just starting to read sort of regularly again, which is really exciting. Like, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm really looking forward to just actually getting into the meat of a lot of books I have floating around at the moment. Harvard and MIT's influential humanist chaplain. I'd love to see Lex Friedman interview him. That would be so interesting. That would be a really good podcast to listen to. This is what I mean. Like, I just feel like I'm more interested in, like, how do we innovate this place, or, like, how do we innovate our thinking in relation to this, like, in relationship to technology? You know, because, like, this idea of being cyborgs, and, like, even, like, I feel like it's Elon Musk who said this, like, but I feel like it's accurate. Like, people hate on Elon Musk, and I just don't subscribe to that, like, very much. Like, I'm like, where's the receipts for your hate? Like, I don't know, I would like to understand why people hate him so much. Like, I just don't feel like it's justified a lot of the time. But, yeah. Open to different perspectives. Just like Ella said, like, basically we are already cyber. Like, where's this fluff coming from, guys? It's not coming from my head. Excuse me, hairbrush? Who's brushing you on the carpet? My robot from my imagination? I don't know. Yeah, but, like, this idea that we're already cyborgs, and that, like, we all walk around with a phone. Like, having a phone has, like, increased our capacity for, you know, we have, like, unlimited knowledge essentially in our hands, in our pockets all the time. And that you can, there's another area there to unpack, in that, like, we maybe use our brains differently. That could be criticised. But yeah, I guess just, like, this idea of becoming sort of transhumanist, like, we're already very much in the thick of it, and with the phone. And it's just, like, deeply fascinating. I mean, being a millennial, like, I was born in 93, and I've kind of, you know, like, my sort of generation has sort of come through the time of, like, we didn't really, like, we had, like, little flip phones, like, some people, I don't know if I had a phone in primary school. Maybe got one. I definitely got one when I went to boarding school, which would have been, like, I don't fucking know, like 12 or something. 13, maybe 13 years old. But, you know, like, you didn't really, you know, like, I kind of, it's just insane. Like, it's really insane to, like, I just don't think we stop and, like, really appreciate how crazy technology is, and just, like, how crazy it's advanced. Even just, like, the iPhone developments, and just, like, so, you know, like, social media's only been around, like social media on phones has only been around for, like, what, like a decade, like 15 years max. Like, not even though, like, what, like, we got, like, Instagram didn't really come around to, like, what, 2012, 2013, like, it didn't really, like, take off until then. Like, it was pretty normal that people had an Instagram by then, by 2013 maybe, like, and it's just, like, and now it's just, like, this insane thing, like, a bit over a decade late. Like, I really, man, the years pass. Like, talking about 2013, I'm like, shit, that's more than a decade ago by, like, 3 years. I suppose, like, COVID just real fucking threw the fucking timeline out, eh? Like, what the heck? Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's enough for a video for a day. If anyone wants to talk to me about anything I've said, I would thoroughly enjoy that.